All right, let's just start with a simple action. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and now let it all out. Feels pretty simple, right? You do this all day, every single day. But what if I told you that breathing in and breathing out are, mechanically speaking, completely different processes? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how this incredibly vital function actually works.
20,000. That's about how many times you do that. Breathe in and out every single day. And you know what the most amazing part is? You don't have to consciously think about a single one of them. It's just this incredible automatic process that keeps us all alive and kicking.
But here's the thing. The second you have to actually explain how it all works, say for a biology exam or something, it suddenly doesn't feel so simple anymore. It gets complicated, right? Well, that gap, the one between just doing it and truly understanding it, that's exactly what we are going to close today.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with why breathing can feel like a puzzle. Then we'll trace the journey that air takes. We'll break down exactly how we breathe in and then how we breathe out. We'll uncover the secret physics of pressure that makes it all possible. And finally, we'll put it all together in a quick recap.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the breathing puzzle. It's so easy to fall into the trap of just memorizing a list of parts, right? But memorizing isn't the same as understanding, not even close.
I bet this sounds familiar. You can probably name the parts just fine. Trachea, lungs, diaphragm, check. But then the question comes, why does the air actually move? What's really going on with pressure? And what are those rib muscles actually doing? That why, that's the mechanism, and that's what we're going to nail down.
Okay, so before we can understand the why, we need a clear map of the where. So let's do a quick fly-through of the path that air takes on its way into your lungs. Think of this as the highway system for every breath you take. So, it all starts in the nostrils, where the air gets filtered, warmed, and moistened. From there, it goes down the pharynx, past the larynx, that's your voice box, and into the main pipeline, the trachea. That pipe then splits into two major branches called the bronchi, which keep branching out into smaller and smaller bronchioles until finally the air arrives at its destination. Millions of these tiny little air sacs called alveoli.
All right, now for the part you've been waiting for. How do we actually breathe in? We call this inspiration, and this is crucial. It is an active process. It takes work. It takes muscle. Let me break it down for you step by step.
So here's what happens. Two things happen at once. First, your diaphragm, that big dome-shaped muscle under your lungs, it contracts and pulls down flat. At the exact same time, the muscles between your ribs also contract, and they pull your entire rib cage up and out, kind of like lifting the handle on a bucket. Now, both of these actions make the space inside your chest bigger. They increase the volume. And here's the simple physics. When volume goes up, pressure goes down. And because the pressure inside your lungs is now lower than the air pressure outside your body, air has no choice. It just rushes in.
So if you're going to remember one thing about breathing in, this is it. It's a simple chain reaction. Your body increases the chest volume. That causes the pressure inside to drop. And that pressure difference pulls the air in. Volume up, pressure down, air in. That's the whole secret. Okay, so we've actively pulled the air in. Now, what about letting it out? This is where it gets really, really cool. While breathing in is hard work, normal, quiet breathing out is totally passive. Your body doesn't really have to do anything. Think about it this way. All those muscles that just worked so hard to contract, to breathe out, they just let go. They relax. The diaphragm relaxes and pops back up into its dome shape. The ribcage muscles relax, and the ribs settle back down and in. It's just elastic recoil. It's like you stretch a rubber band, and then you just let it go. It snaps back all by itself. No extra energy needed. And when you look at it side by side like this, you can really see that beautiful symmetry. Inspiration is active, muscles contract, volume increases, pressure decreases, air comes in. Expiration is passive, muscles relax, volume decreases, pressure increases, and air goes out. It's a perfect, elegant cycle of opposites.
So, we keep coming back to this idea of pressure. Let's really zoom in on that for a second, because it is the secret ingredient to this whole recipe. And I promise the physics behind it is incredibly simple.
If you only remember one single thing from this entire explanation, make it this. This is the golden rule. Air will always move from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure. Always. That's it. Your body's entire job in breathing is just to create these pressure differences. Want a perfect real-world example? Think of a syringe. When you pull the plunger back, what are you doing? You're increasing the volume inside the barrel. That creates a low-pressure space, and the liquid from outside gets sucked right in to fill it. That is exactly what your diaphragm and ribs are doing when you breathe in.
And to get the liquid out, well, you just push the plunger in. You decrease the volume, which ramps up the pressure inside, and that pressure forces the liquid out. Your body relaxing its muscles, letting the chest cavity shrink, it's doing the exact same thing to push the air out. It's really that simple.
And if you look at the actual numbers, you can see just how small these changes are. The air pressure all around us is about 760 units, let's say. To get air to rush in, the pressure inside your lungs only needs to drop by 2 little units to 758. And to push air out, it only needs to go up by 3 units to 763. Isn't that wild? Such a tiny, tiny difference in pressure is enough to power every single breath you take.
All right, we have covered the path, the muscles, and the physics of pressure. Now, let's go to our final section and watch how it all comes together in one beautiful, continuous cycle. So let's just watch it all happen. See the diaphragm flatten and the ribs lift, the volume increases, and there goes the air rushing in. And then, everything just relaxes. The volume shrinks, and the air flows back out. Inhale and exhale. This simple, elegant movement just repeats over and over, 20,000 times a day, without you ever having to think about it. So, there you have it. The next time you take a breath, maybe you'll appreciate that little symphony of biology and physics happening inside you. It's this perfect dance, working away quietly in the background of your entire life. And it really makes you wonder, right? What other amazing automatic processes are happening in our bodies right now, just waiting for us to understand them?